Welcome to our 5 on 5. We're pleased to welcome Pat Reiten, the President and CEO of Pacific Power. Pat, good to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Nice to see you, Craig. Thanks for having me.
Our pleasure. So tell us, how large of an area does Pacific Power serve, and how many customers is that?
Yeah, Pacific Power serves 243 different individual communities across 3 states, Oregon, Washington, into Northern California. We serve about 750,000 customers.
Okay, and with a company that size, obviously, and being in the energy and electricity industry, you guys deal with the government a great deal.
Yeah, we do.
The Obama administration and the EPA recently released new proposed rules for carbon emissions that were directed at coal plants. Pacific Power has a number of coal facilities. What does this mean for your company and our?
Well, it's, we're tracking that very carefully. Those draft regulations came out in June. We have a long way to go until they become final. Very, very complex. The truth is, we as a customer are moving away from coal inevitably anyway. This is another layer of considerations for us. Those rules will go into effect in June of 15, and then we'll be working state by state because the state will dictate compliance. And so long ways to go to unravel exactly what they mean, but we've kind of been on this path for a while anyway.
Certainly. Okay, and so what does that mean perhaps for the customers?
Well, for customers, we will be moving to a more diversified energy generating portfolio. More gas plants, more renewables in that mix, along with conservation. Frankly, looking at our long-term plans, we'll meet 2/3 of our incremental need with energy efficiency. So we have assumed transition of the plants, and so there won't be a big shock to our system from a rate perspective, but we'll be working to affect that transition with the states.
Yeah, I'm certainly something customers are glad to hear.
Yeah.
Very good. We're going to take a quick break.
Great.
We'll have much more with Pat in a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back to our 5 on 5. Again, we're here with Pat Reiten, the President and CEO of Pacific Power. So we were talking a lot about coal facilities and local renewables. What are you guys doing on the ground here in Oregon for that?
Well, the company has a perennial top 5 in the country green power marketing program called Blue Sky, and we've been partnering with communities, not the least of which is Medford, on community challenges to increase the voluntary contributions of customers to fund new renewables. We ran a program here last year in partnership with the city that increased the participation rate 30%. Medford is now a green power partner community with the Environmental Protection Agency, and the funds from that program are being reinvested here into community solar projects. So,
like we've seen at the airport.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It was fun to come in this morning and see the new sundial at the airport.
Right.
Funded, but really the most important part of those 3 different arrays, 90 different panels at the airport. We just announced a new grant, some $150,000 towards a array on the top of St. Mary's School, and later on the Oregon Hills Park will have a dedication in July and a new 3 kW solar array there. So those voluntary contributions are going to real projects here to help the community and for education purposes as well.
Yeah, and we certainly love to see that, but how does that benefit the customers as well?
Well, it in essence greens up the mix of power we're using to supply them, and it, for instance, at St. Mary's School, will help kids understand more how those projects work, maybe offset some costs from an electric bill standpoint for the school. So all in all, a good thing.
Yeah, all good things. Okay, all right. Now, we're talking about it's almost July here, fire season, and you guys do some preparations in advance of fire season.
Oh, we do.
As well.
And, it's clearly Southern Oregon, Northern California for us, service territory. We're into drought conditions, very, very early. And so, we are proactively executing on a plan, patrolling our lines to make sure that we don't have issues that might contribute to new forest fires. When we do have the inevitable tree going through a line, we are not retesting that line that might create a fire danger, and so we're out patrolling by foot and by helicopter. We're also clearing our facilities, making sure that we don't have undue vegetation that might, create an additional fire danger. So we hope to avoid the kind of fire season we had last year. We had our crews outfitted with masks, though air quality was not the greatest, and hopefully we'll get through without any serious damage.
Very good, Pat. Great to see you. Thanks
Greg,
for coming by.
hey, thanks for having me.
Our pleasure. Stay with us. We'll be right back.